how much I appreciate you agreeing to see me, after hours.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. And since my material and my equipment have arrived, we can dive right in.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yes, I can tell.
Actually, the sooner we get started, the better, really, because I'm sure that you can guess. This is absolutely terrifying for me.
Well, of course it's terrifying. Sex therapy isn't like a sports car. It's not something you jump into for the fun of it. I mean, the name alone uses two of the scariest words in the English language, sex and therapy.
Throw in taxes, you got everything covered.
Oh, you're going to be splendid to work with. I am looking forward to this.
Oh, I wish I could share your enthusiasm.
Well, zeal isn't mandatory, only willingness. By the way, sit down. I spoke to Susanna Hannon in Switzerland.
You've been busy, have you?
Well, being that she was the therapist that oversaw your recovery from DID, the reintegration of your alters and so forth, I felt Susanna could give me an overall comprehensive view of your history and the progress that you've made, which, by the way, is extraordinary.
Really? You think so?
Viki, you have no idea how many people I have dealt with that have collapsed under the weight of a burdensome past. You are obviously a very courageous and strong woman to have been so resilient. And I venture to say that you've got what it takes to make the work that we're about to tackle pay off.
Fight, team, fight.
We're essentially, going to be looking at one problem. Your current lack of libido.
Current? For quite some time.
Well, it doesn't have to go on forever. Here.
Oh, thank you. I hope it doesn't.
And the first thing we're going to do is establish the source of the problem, whether it is emotional or physical or a combination of both, because loss of desire is quite different from loss of sensation.
Okay, how do you go about trying to find out which it is? I think I'd like to just start from scratch with you, So I'm going to say, I don't really know. All I know is how I have felt for the last year or so.
Well, how have you felt sexually?
Short-circuited is a good word that comes to mind.
Disconnected.
Yes, disconnected. I mean, it's not that I'm not interested in sex, because I am. I mean, the idea of, I had not really made up my mind that I was, in fact, going to make love with Clint up in the cabin that night. But I did think that if I had wanted to, I could. And then it just turned out that there was no spark.
No arousal, in other words.
Right. Right. And I guess I've been that way for a while. I don't know.
All right, then. Let's just back up a bit. Why don't we explore what did arouse you in the past? Now, Viki, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and let your mind drift back in time, back to those early sexual responses, back to the first purely physical sensations. Are you getting anything?
No.
All right, then let's try something else. Why don't you try to remember what might have stimulated those early sexual feelings?
I can't do this. I can't. I'm sorry.
You can't do what?
I can't say it.
Try.
It's not working, you see. Ever since I recovered the memory of what my father did to me, I just kind of shut down, whenever I even get close to any of those early feelings. Instead of recollection, I feel shame and I feel guilt. I'm sorry.
Don't be. That's what abuse does. It cuts people off from and turns them against their most natural, God-given impulses. And besides, Viki, you're way ahead of the game.
Oh, really? How's that?
Well, I mean, you're aware of what's going on inside of you and you're willing to communicate it. If you can maintain this level of honesty, I think that you will be greatly gratified at how quickly we get to the issue, the heart of the issue at hand.
Well, I guess the heart would be very nice, but I think for now I prefer to stay in the here and now. Instead of any forays into the past, I just feel a lot safer.
All right, all right. The here and now is good. We'll just take a different approach.
Oh, boy. What's that?
Well, there's a method that we can use that will help us establish a sexual point of reference. A technique that will give us some idea of what arouses you and to what degree.
What technique is that?
If you can't... It's been designed so that it can help us with this evaluation process that we've been discussing. Now, I'll just put it in there, and I'm going to hand you these. There's the remote. And I want you to jot down what, if anything, arouses you. And to what degree, if possible.
You want me to watch this now? Here?
Yes, if you're willing.
Yeah, I suppose I am.
Good. Well, just begin whenever you're ready. And feel free to stop if you get to feeling too uncomfortable.
Okay.
In days of...
I can't do this.
Why? Is it too much?
With you in the room, it sure is.
Oh, believe me, by the time we're through, I'm going to seem to you as if I'm just another piece of furniture around here. But I understand. And seeing as I haven't become a hassock yet, here, I'm going to give you this.
You want me to take this home?
Absolutely. I want you to find a quiet time and curl up by yourself and give it another shot.
Okay. Okay.
Any reaction to what you did see?
I have to tell you that I am absolutely shocked.
In what way?
Well, I mean, that people would do that with a camera on them?
You mean you've never seen anything like this before?
Is that a terribly revealing confession?
Oh, Viki, everything everybody does is revealing. Just relax, you're in good company.
Well, thank you. You know, Mary, I have to tell you, this sort of thing was never discussed in my family.
What sort of thing is that? Sex? Pleasure? Physical needs? What?
All of the above. Now, we had a very glossy, very proper veneer to the Lord behavior. Of course, underneath all that good breeding and impeccable manners was unspeakable obscenity.
Yes. Which not only cast a pall over the most natural and pleasurable aspects of being human, but seems to have precluded it altogether.
Well, I guess looking at it from that perspective, I'm going backwards, not forwards.
Oh, Viki, please be patient. Give yourself time, and with hard work, we can change things, turn them around.
Do you honestly believe that?
I'm not in the habit of wasting my time or my patient's time.
I will be a good patient, a good student. I will do my homework. Although I have to tell you, I've never had a teacher give me this kind of an assignment before.
I'm sure you'll do just fine. Good luck.
Oh, good grief. Oh.
Mom,